Breaking news! Mitt Romney has released his tax returns for 2011. Except that if you step back and think about it, he had already told us that this was going to happen, so perhaps the real news is the timing of his release. Now, after all, it is Friday afternoon of what I can only describe as the worst week ever for Mr. Romney, since he started running for president actually in February 2007. We've also got a great group of Democrats, Republicans, and independents in our hangout ready to sound off about this topic. Joining me to discuss this, Zach Carter, our HuffPost senior political economy reporter. He's in D.C. and actually filing this story, I believe, right now. So we'll let you go in just a little bit. What is the real news here? Am I wrong in kind of saying it's really the timing right here?
Well, I mean, I think the timing is part of it, but right out of the gate, it's 379 pages long, which is almost twice as long as the 203-page filing that we got for 2010. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. It's also radically different from what he estimated this would be several months ago. The estimate said he would make about $21 million this year. It turns out he only made about $13.8 million. And from looking through the filings so far, it seems like that's because a lot of the partnerships, which he expected to make several $1 million from, actually turned into losses. We don't really know why those were not, profit maximizing opportunities for him this year, but we'll find out. And then right out of the gate, I've just been going through his foreign corporations that he's invested in. He still has dozens of different collateralized debt obligations, collateralized loan obligations, these really complicated types of securities that are incorporated in the Cayman Islands and Ireland and the Netherlands, all these tax shelter type places. So he hasn't run away from the sort of tactics that he was using to pay a lower tax rate in 2010. If anything, he's just sort of continued down the exact same path. We're still trying to find out if he's got the Swiss bank account open, but we'll figure it out soon. All
right, and I know you're going to keep updating us, but I have to ask you, if it's that many pages, 300 pages, and yet there's so much that seems to be missing, as you've described, I mean, why is it so long for those of us who probably aren't going to go and sift through the entire thing?
Well, I guess the wealthier you are, the more opportunities you have to find some way to avoid paying tax on that income. So the money just goes to all sorts of different places. Right now, I'm looking through foreign corporations. If you don't have a whole lot of money, you just don't have investments that you can park abroad. There's no reason to stuff your money somewhere else. He has to file whole reams of paper in entire specific forms for a corporation that he's got in Bermuda. For instance, if you don't own a corporation in Bermuda, you don't have to file any forms about the offshore corporation that you personally own. So he just has an enormous amount of money that has to be managed somehow. And if you're smart about managing your money, then you want to minimize your tax burden. And he seems to have been very, very creative about minimizing that burden.
Right.